Hello there. What's going on, guys? Happy Star Wars Day, and here it is. Here it is. Ugh. It's so hard to believe that we've reached this moment. How long has it been since the Clone Wars movie came out? Came out in August of 2008, so that was almost 12 years ago. Pretty close. Remember, I was about 10 years old at the time. I went to see that, and I was just so excited to see a Star Wars movie in the theater. I didn't even care that it was just an animated movie that was really a theatrical pilot for the upcoming TV series. It didn't matter to me, and here we are all these years later, the true series finale to the Clone Wars. We're finally here. We never thought that we would get it. We heard about it, but never thought it would actually be made. Maybe a year and a half ago, they announced that it was actually going to happen, and I can't believe it. And it's premiering on May the 4th. They actually released it a few days earlier so that we could all enjoy it on Star Wars Day, which is just awesome. I almost feel like this is going to be my third or fourth time experiencing a series finale in some way. The first time was the end of season 5 back in 2013, and because right after that they announced that the Clone Wars was canceled, but then there ended up being one more season on Netflix, so then I thought that was the finale. Then they did the Clone Wars Legacy Project, I thought that was the finale. Then Dave Filoni said what would have happened in the Siege of Mandalore at Celebration 2016. We thought that was it. It's like Yoda said, always in motion is the future. So I think it's just time I got into it. It has to happen at some point. I'm very, very excited. The series finale of the Clone Wars, I believe this episode is called Victory and Death. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Not trying to kill anyone? Is he gonna destroy the ship? It's like the Clone Wars crew is like, how can we make Maul more interesting? How can we do something we haven't done with him before? And they're like, well, what if we force him to not have his lightsaber? And here you go.
They may be willing to die, but I am not the one who is going to kill them. I have an idea. Don't worry, it's a good one. I think.
Ahsoka Tano is no longer a Jedi. Hasn't been for some time.
Oh, this is an interesting move. Probably won't work.
Commander Rex, you're in violation of Order 66. I accuse you of treason against the Grand Army of the Republic. You'll be demoted in rank from commander and subject to execution, along with the traitor Ahsoka Tano.
Jesse.
Yeah, I didn't much like being a commander anyway. Ready.
Okay, I was wondering where that went. It reminded me of that scene from The Rise of Skywalker. That was so cool. Up, down, up, down. kind of like that scene in Attack of the Clones where Anakin is falling through the skies of Coruscant and then he lands on the speeder. It's also kind of like a scene from Sly 2 Band of Thieves where an airship has been destroyed and Sly is hopping amongst the debris trying to get to the ground. Or Jesse and all the others. Wow. And you know how hard that must be because that was the last gift Anakin ever gave her, and now she has no idea what's happened. She probably just assumes he's gone at this point. This must be at a later point in time when winter has set in on this planet. Oh, I was hoping they would show him. There's that bird. Oh, dude, he looks so good. Wow. Wow. Guys, that was amazing. Fair warning that in the discussion I'm probably going to get into spoilers for Star Wars Rebels a little bit because of how it relates to this, so if you haven't seen that show and you don't want any spoilers, you have been warned. Yeah, just imagine what this finale must have felt like if it had actually come out before Star Wars Rebels. Like, imagine that the series had never been canceled and Star Wars Rebels didn't exist at the time this episode came out, and it just ended like that, and you're like, well, what happened to Ahsoka? What happened to Rex? Where'd they go? How long has it been since the end of the Clone Wars? The only relief from this episode is knowing that, you know, these characters eventually come back in Star Wars Rebels and that things work out for them and that they have a larger role to play. But man, if you had never seen Star Wars Rebels, which because I'm conflicted now, because if I were showing someone the Clone Wars and Rebels for the first time, or if they were wanting to watch them and asking me I should watch it, I'm not sure what I should tell them because it seems like there are three options. You can watch season 7 first along with the rest of the Clone Wars. You could maybe watch it after the season 1 finale, but before Twilight of the Apprentice, so that it doesn't get spoiled that Ahsoka is Fulcrum and it kind of builds a mystery about the Siege of Mandalore arc. Or you could just watch it after Star Wars Rebels because that's when it actually came out. I love that they did a time jump at the end. I'm curious to see maybe how long of a time jump it is. I almost thought that they were showing a scene from Empire Strikes Back, which would have been crazy, but it's the same reason it worked at the end of Star Wars Rebels. Like they did a 5-year time jump to after Return of the Jedi, and I thought that that was a smart move in that show because it made the show feel complete within itself because it didn't feel like it just stops and then the story is finished off screen in the original trilogy. They jump forward to after the story has been resolved so that the show can feel complete within itself. And that's what this final arc did. Dave Filoni wanted to cross over with Revenge of the Sith, have it be happening at the same time, not just stop before Revenge of the Sith so that the show could feel complete within itself. And here, it's the same way, jumping forward to Anakin is now Darth Vader. And, you know, him just wondering what happened to Ahsoka, what happened to Rex. And that's just a really strong and powerful way to end the series, and it sets up perfectly what's going to happen down the road. And everything else about this episode was just great. It was still amazingly intense action, some really heartfelt and emotional scenes. It's very powerful. It's a great ending to this show. I'm so thankful that Dave Filoni and crew were able to come back and finish it. These last 4 episodes have been some of the best Star Wars ever. Period. And getting to experience it, the true ending to the Clone Wars after almost 12 years, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I could just keep going on, but yeah, that's really sums up most of my thoughts. Looking forward to rewatching all 4 episodes as one big movie. I'm looking forward to seeing the fan edits that are going to combine this with Revenge of the Sith. That'll be really cool. And I'm also looking forward to doing a rewatch of Star Wars Rebels sometime in the next few weeks. Having the full context of having seen this arc, the first 2 seasons especially will probably feel more powerful as a result. So guys, let me know, what did you think of this series finale? What have you thought of this arc as a whole? What are your thoughts on the Clone Wars? Just whatever it is, whatever you have to say, feel free to share your thoughts down below. If this is your first time on my channel, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Also be sure to check out my other videos, it really means a lot. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and may the 4th be with you.